along the grapevine that there have been so far like 3 of my students, mastermind guys, who are less receptive to studying the relationship related content. They want to wait until there's more business and finance. So let me share a couple of words on this. By the way, I have a higher value on my business and my finance and my teachings than I do on relationships as well. It's a lower value, but it's a degree system here. And what I will say is that if you undervalue an area of your life, you'll get nailed by it. So I like the analogy of the wise Chinese sage who said, if you're going to chop down a tree and it's going to take 3 hours, you may as well spend the first 2 sharpening the axe, because that's easy to do. But hacking at a tree for 3 hours with a blunt axe is some bullshit. And I see a lot of people rushing into their business and their finance and their wealth creation and all the thing, going at it with a blunt axe, chopping like a fucking mad dog, busting their ass kind of thing. And then they end up with a divorce, 50% probability. And then they lose half of it. Could you imagine that? Putting all of your time and energy into this one bloody thing and then boom, half of it's gone. You would want to kill a bitch. And you'll end up probably bitter and resentful and angry, and you'll have health issues and you'll give yourself dis-ease because of it. So let's unwind that situation now and go right back to the start, keeping in mind that track, you lost half of it anyway and you ended up with a dis-ease and bitter and angry and kill a bitch. Now imagine at the start, you actually put half the amount of energy into the business and made half as much, but you looked after the relationship. Well, then you're going to have more stability, more gratitude, more love in the home life, a more empowered family dynamic, less probability of disease and resentment and bitterness, and the same amount of wealth anyway because you probably won't do the divorce. It's a business play getting the relationships right. And so I see it now. I mean, I know guys who are making a hell of a lot more money than me right now, and they're in relationships. And the way that they're fucking carrying on like absolute pork chops, going on these trips and shagging all these fucking hookers and all the thing, they're going to end up with a divorce, giving half of their wealth away. And they're going to have this high highs and low lows kind of bullshit going on over the course of a life. I'm going to sustain that wealth and keep it in the family dynamic and have it compound out and build products and build services with my partner. And if it's slower now, it'll be bigger in the future. But adding stability to your life is a function of empowering every area of life. All of the areas need to be empowered. Any area that is disempowered, you're going to be overpowered. And any area that you undervalue, you're going to end up getting nailed by it. Because the universe wants you to here empower every fucking area of your life. So just the 2 latest modules in our Power Couple Masterclass are the Divorce Busters. That is the Master Key unit and the Fair Exchange table that's going to be uploaded tonight. Those 2, if you just do them, the probability of you divorcing is going to go through the floor. And then you still take the precautionary measures. You still do your prenuptial agreements. You still do all the stuff that's wise and smart, and every smart person with half a fucking brain does all that stuff. But ultimately, it's about getting to the truth of what the individual wants. What does that soul want? And positioning yourself in a relationship with, you know what, I'm helping you to fulfill that in your life here. And when you have this bantering with the equal power dynamic, fair exchange, gratitude for each other, you're not going to have, even if you do a divorce, which is fine, you're not going to have the kind of explosion and bitterness and resentment, and I'm going to come after you, all the thing that a lot of people have in their relationships because they spent 20 fucking years with each other miserable because they were ungrateful, because they didn't perceive as fair exchange, they didn't take the time to empower their relationship. Do the fucking relationship course.